Let me turn up your gain just a smidge.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna see here. Get my gain up here too.
I'm gonna restart my game real quick, just to make sure we're not dealing with any memory leaks.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Sparty. Yes, that's exactly where my name comes from.
God bless.
being Canadian and all, that's a perk that we get to enjoy up here.
Okay, how does Stoney sound, everybody? I just changed
Hello?
a couple settings around.
Yes.
Sounds good now.
1, 2.
Beautiful.
Sounds good. Nice.
He's good.
Good.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Cool. I just had to put a couple filters on and get some stuff figured out.
Let me put on stream for you.
Ooh.
Let me
Yes, sir.
get the thing going. So who do we got here tonight? We got Steel saying, Stan's here, Odyssey's here, Tyson's here, Alpha, Eva Stigma,
Stan's in here.
Mamaro's there.
Mara lost to Mike Tyson. Brutal. Is anybody abandoned? No.
Does
Coin.
Mike Tyson ever play standard? Like ever?
No, I think pretty sure Mike Tyson's almost always like asym aggro Andy.
Well, he's good though. I mean, I don't know. Yesterday I tried to play aggro versus Sparty, and my ass whooped.
Yeah, he was telling me. He was telling me that you guys were doing some games against each other. I played a lot of games against him yesterday, or no, 2 days ago, and I think I only dropped like a game against him or 2 games against him. But
yeah,
I kept getting him with like replicate cheeses and stuff like that. So... He's tightened it up though. It feels like he's I think he's up in the mid-17s now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we got Odyssey in here. We got Znart, Alpha, Sten, Righteousness is a person I recently run into. Coin recently took a game off me. We got Jeremiah. Oh, 1800s. My bad, Sparty. Eva Stigma. I don't know what he was doing in that last game, but
yeah, it's super weird. I came in the last few rounds. I came in at the Wraith round. I was like, yeah. He could have totally gotten range on. No, he couldn't have with the Wasp. Still Sam was going hard into range Mustang, AA range Mustang, so there's no way he would have range. Yeah, that was a little rough. The thing with elite hackers, I don't agree. I don't know when he put the elite hackers down, if it's like right after he got the card, but I feel like before turn 5, if you got elite hackers card, I wouldn't play it. It's just such a big hit if you don't have Chakra.
Yeah, right. And that was like kind of the issue. And it looked like he was trying to supplement it with like fire callers, but fire callers are not a shaft clear. I mean,
no, and he didn't even get that round. So
yeah,
it's kind of sad. No, you know, I like to take elite hacker, and sometimes I just don't use it. It's a threat. It's a looming threat, and they have to prepare for it. And they prepare by overcompensating with chaff. So I pick elite hacker card, and then I double down on chaff there.
Yeah,
mind game button.
Well, it also like it prevents the button of Spider-Man's being clicked, right?
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know, man. The taking top supply when you have like 700 HP is just questionable.
It is. I mean, who knows? He could be an optimist.
Coin got the win over Jeremiah.
All right, let's see the ranking. Coin is strong. I haven't seen him play very often, but
very high tempo player.
He's very, very strong. Yeah. Stan's here. We're rooting for you, man.
Sten,
Odyssey.
Celiac? Yeah.
I was like watching Odyssey. I hope Odyssey and Mike Tyson get again. That'd be very interesting.
So it's gonna be it's gonna be Steel Sane versus Ryder, Righteousness versus Mike Tyson, Odyssey versus Coin, and Sten versus Ziliag.
I kind of want to watch the Mike Tyson game. It's always exciting. It could be it could end in like 5 turns, but very exciting.
Yeah. Yep.
And Steel Sane. Yeah, I wouldn't watch Steel Sane, not for this game anyways. It feels he's very much favored.
Yeah, I agree. I think we could also do Sten Ziliag. Both those people are in my chat, so they could get a kick out of us listening to them or listening to us. Also, Sten took out Alpha. That's huge. That's huge.
Yeah, Alpha's strong.
Alpha's very strong.
See writers in your chat too.
Yeah, writers in here too.
You got this. You can be still. He sometimes throw games. Let's just put it this way. If you confuse him enough, he'll throw a game.
Yeah, I agree. I think I played against Steel Sane like twice. And yeah, he's kicked my ass both times, so good luck, Ryder.
If you play Steel Sane, just go to tourneys. I think he never misses a tourney. I just very rarely I don't see him at a tourney.
Yeah, he puts a lot of work in for the tourneys.
Yeah, like a lot. And he talks about it too, right? Like this is important to him, which is good. You know, good for him. Got to go for that. All right.
Ryder says you could be talking about me too. Oh, Coin's in here. Hey, Coin, how's it going, man? Nicely done over Jeremiah. Who do we want to check out?
There we go. Ooh, it's Coin versus Odyssey. Ooh, it's the middle two. Coin, Odyssey, or Zilla Black versus Sten.
I'll flip a coin.
You go ahead.
I'm gonna roll a dice. I'm gonna say evens, Coin, odds, Ziliag. How about that?
All right.
It's even. So I said even Coin.
Right?
Yeah, yep.
Coin. Yeah, that's the.
See Amarok say that he really likes our chemistry. Thinks we are a good casting duo. High praise.
Like an official one?
Wait, what's up?
What did you say about casting duo?
Oh, he said you and I have good chemistry. Amarok did. Because we have a good dynamic.
We have connected deeply. Alright, I'm ready to go, are you?
Yep.
Hey, Stoney here. I'm here with Clintleetwood, and this is Mechabellum Tournament. At the bottom here, we have Coin playing as a ED specialist, and he's up against Odyssey as a Rhino specialist. So it seems like we're gonna have a sledge off. How do you feel about that, Clint?
Yeah, I mean, I think initially, right, this favors the elite spec player, right? With level 2 crawlers being kind of a problem, especially since Arclights can't one-shot them, and the sledgehammers are in a horizontal position, meaning that they are not efficient chaff clears. But Odyssey is a very solid player, right? We've seen him beat Doxin before, and to a lesser extent, Coin has absolutely wrecked me in one of these tournaments. So I think he's got some spicy stuff. He's a very high tempo player. In the game against me, he did a lot of like wasp jump drive shenanigans with like some very tightly placed missiles. So I'm expecting to see a lot of like very strong pushes out of Coin here, and yeah, and probably some really standard solid play from Odyssey. Chaffless start though from Odyssey. How do you feel about that?
For Coin, actually, for Odyssey, I like it. I never really played this myself, but not now knowing there's blue crawlers, I think this might have been a decent choice. Like, let's say if Coin didn't do this one-sided 2/5 crawler push, Odyssey might have helped, because if he didn't do that,
Right.
instead of putting down like fans or crawlers, there's no way he would have won the chapter.
Yeah, I think that's a very good call out, right? The sort of like ASIM push from Coin is something that he got me with pretty good. It also forces this weird like overreaction potentially from Odyssey, right? Maybe opening up a couple soft spots on the left side for some jump drive wash play, some jump drive Phoenix play, maybe even some flanking crawlers, right? We have like flanking level 2 crawlers is pretty hard to deal with. ER Sledge comes up, ER Fortress, and Shield Airdrop are the things that stand out to me here. What do you think is solid here?
I'm surprised Odyssey didn't take ER Sledge. I mean, I guess everything's running at him, so he just feel like if I range it, it's fine. And he's probably right. Yeah, I right now they may have sledgehammers on here. I don't think it's gonna turn into a full-on sledgehammer. Yeah, carry. I think we have a very high likelihood of seeing potentially Wasp or Wraith supplement this army here at the bottom. With Odyssey, how do you feel about his board? Still no chaff though. Oh, there's this one crawler.
Yeah, I don't think this is gonna cut it still, right? Like I think realistically the shield will slow down the sledgies. I mean, like what killed the tower last round wasn't the sledgies, right? It was the level 2 crawlers getting in, and Arclights take 2 shots to kill. So I don't know. I don't think it's gonna cut the mustard, so to speak. I think what we see potentially coming in Coin here though is okay, so he's changed the shield positioning, but I thought he was gonna do like a shallow Yeah, I thought he was gonna do like a shallow assault marksman kind of play. But no, see, this is sort of the thing I was talking about in this sort of like tempo play, right? He knows these level 2 marksmen one-shot tanks. He can get an early tower, max that timing out with the other tower.
Great tower timing.
Yeah, and look, he's going to get the other tower too. And this is like sort of what I mean. Is he's forced this reaction out of Odyssey to defend the right side, and then he gets to, he's hit them with the right straight. Now he's coming with the left hook, and he's generated a lot of tempo. He's making Odyssey really guess where the next attack's going to come from, and it gets very hard to play against this sort of stuff. You get to, like, it feels like you're kind of coin flipping, and once the other player is fully in control of the game, it becomes really hard to respond to it.
Oh, for sure. Speed spec gets picked up by Coin. Excellent card here. I mean, there's a lot of possibility for him. I mean, he could put a Wasp at the top left. He can have Wasp on his side on the top left, and just move up beacon towards the tower, and there's nothing to stop that, right? On the right hand side, you can also Wasp. I mean, there's a lot of Wasp potential. I'm hoping he consider it maybe at some point. And
what's very smart here from Coin, and I don't know if this is intentional here, right? But once that arc light hits level 2, right, your level 2 crawlers are not so relevant anymore. Level 3 crawlers, however, still require 2 shots, and those are basically in line with that arc light. So we see a shallow flank coming out from Coin, and I think the intention here is that this should pull some of the attention away from these level 1 crawlers getting in on this arc light on the left. Yeah, and you can see it, right? It's being pulled to the side, which means these level 1 crawlers get in against this not very efficient chaff clear and these horizontal sledgehammers. And what a missile!
Wow.
Oh, dirty.
That missile essentially chased those 3 crawlers all the way to the sledges.
Yeah.
Wow.
And this is sort of what I noticed when I was playing against him, right? His missiles are just so well placed, but it looks like Odyssey's going to stabilize this round at least a little bit.
Oh, for sure. And if I were Odyssey, I have to worry about some sort of potential airplay. Right now, they're both kind of weak in the air, with the exception of just some marksmen. That is something, if I'm playing defensively, that's something that I have to worry about. But he doesn't have to commit into things like Mustangs. He can certainly just put on more fangs as chap. And I think that would have been a correct choice.
I'm kind of curious to see what Coin might do here. I feel like a very high tempo unit here is this level 5 Sabertooth. There's not really anything that can kill that on the board, right? How do you feel about like Coin's picks here? Like if you're in Coin's spot, what are you thinking? What are you picking?
I think the Sabertooth is also slightly better than Scorpion.
Yeah.
Even though Scorpion did splash against the sledges, but if you put heal on the Sabertooth this round, I think you'll tank everything.
An interesting thing to note, right, is now we're at round 4 and Rhino Spec gets his Rhino for free, and Coin does go for the level 5 Sabertooth. I think that's the correct call in here, right? We want to put our foot on the gas. I was going to say, though, this Rhino Spec player gets his Rhino at round 4, and if you look at Coin's board, there's not really a good place to hit Coin with that Rhino. So we're kind of using it as like a delayed tank in the back now, which I think is like an interesting call. But interesting also is that assault mode does get clicked, and I think that is kind of like the soft read I had on what Coin was trying to do here. So I'm really curious to see if he will be developing that in like the shallow flanks, especially because we have the shield airdrop coming up next round. We can do some very, I would say, degenerate stuff with that.
Right now, I think Odyssey has the problem that there's just so much HP on Coin's side with the assault marksman, with the level 5 Sabertooth, and then there's not enough damage on Odyssey's side. So now he does have a lot of chop. I think he put down, 3 sets of crawlers all the way on the top left, and that is helping him pushing through.
Yeah. Interesting to note, though, that Odyssey had an issue with his Sabertooth getting locked on by the other Sabertooth. So now Coin has a level 5 Sabertooth and then a level 3 Assault Mode Marksman. And, oh, that timing is pretty big.
The level 2 Marksman. And it's going to get another time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really solid defensive play out here from Odyssey, I think. Ooh.
Senior attack, Robert.
Yeah.
Round 5, we got lots of HP. Senior hat makes more sense for Odyssey than it does for Coin, because most of his units, with the exception of sledges, carry units, they overkill their stuff already.
Yeah.
But they will benefit with his crawlers, especially this level 3.
Yeah. I really like the sort of heads-up play from Coin here. He knows that since he's so far forward, his back is vulnerable potentially, right, to a wasp swarm. So not only does he know that the right is covered because he's had a missile there, but he covers the center and the left and then drops the wasp swarm defensively. And here's what I was sort of talking about, right? We have that shield airdrop that we can now deploy in a shallow flank and potentially even start warping in some level 2 crawlers, some level 2 assault mode marksmen. What I imagine here soon we'll see here soon, right, is a range enhancement clicked on these assault mode marksmen. And I think at that point, Coin should wrestle back some tempo, I think. Ooh, Devil Sabers on the right. I didn't even see that until just right now. That's very good. I think that punches through most of the stuff over there, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'm just looking at the right-hand side. I'm still not convinced that these two sabers are going to break through, but maybe, because right now there's no chap in front of this row of sledgehammers, and this level 2 sabers does one shot the sledgehammers.
Also, takes a couple shots to kill it.
Distraction.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, for sure. A well-placed distraction with the crawlers on the shallow flank on the right. It kind of pulled pretty much all the support for those sledgehammers away to that corner.
Interesting tower timing. I don't know if it's going to be meaningful. It really depends on how quickly everything arrives in. Ooh, the level 5 saber gets locked on, though.
Oh.
Okay, we punched through. Not as comfortable as I would like that to be, though. We got a couple levels, though, on these. Sabertooth's on the right. That's pretty big. Okay, free unit pack. What's standing out to you, Sparty?
Stonecallers.
Yeah.
It's gotta be Stonecallers for the aggressor. I mean, Overlords, because units move fast, and Photon is pretty nice with the marksmen, because they essentially just walk up all the way to the front and start tanking. But right now, I'm just looking at Odyssey's board. That 2 packs of Stormcallers are going to get to tower before things could even react. So you can always buy Overlords, but you can't buy level 3 Stormcallers.
That's true. It's very true, right? I think in my mind, right, if you look at the board here, right, Odyssey has EMP tech potential on his sledgehammers. So if we are leaning more into this like idea of assault mode marksman, photon emission, which is something that Coin does run on his overlords, becomes like a huge boon. And so being able to get gifted these like level 1 overlords and get 2 of them when you're elite spec and you don't really have that sort of flexibility, I think is so massive. So I think that's where Coin's headset or mindset was. But I do like the call out for level 3 Stormcallers, right? If you look at his board, almost all of it's so stationary. So yeah, I think Stormcallers would have also been a solid pickup. I'm surprised we didn't see range this round, but maybe we were a little strapped for cash when it came to the free unit drop. Well, quote unquote free unit drop.
So there was a very nice miss on the left-hand side. Key on the pack of fans right in front of the level 5 Sabertooth. There goes the Sabertooth. And I'm actually quite surprised that the Coins board has this good of a chapter. Because normally when I play Assault Mode Marksman, I fall into this false sense of security. And it's like, oh, they're practically arc-lights at this point, so I don't need chaff. I don't need chaff clear. I just build more marksmen. It often didn't work out for me in the end, and I'm surprising at how Coin is making that work. I think those high-level crawlers are just putting in the work.
Yeah. Both players pick up an enhancement module. I completely agree. I think it's too much to ignore here.
There's no range on the marksman. There is also no photon on the overlord just yet.
Yeah, I think we only photon in response to EMP. And Coin realistically, right, has enough health that we can tank around if we lose it to EMP. So, yeah, I'm surprised we haven't seen range get clicked. This is a button that I would imagine you would see. But something that's really cool here, and this is sort of a bit of a tech from Mongst, is shooting squad on marksman. And what ends up happening, right, is if you're playing into EMP sledges, right, we can just click shooting squad, click drop our own pack of fangs, click shield, sell it off, and then suddenly we have this wall that is in front of our assault mode marksman that can just tank so many shots and really hold it down for us. But yeah, I think it's interesting to note here that one of the things that I think we're probably running into on Odyssey's side is that these Sabertooths are ranged. We have a level 7 Sabertooth from Coin versus a level 6 Sabertooth. Both of that's ridiculous, but yeah. All Overlords get leveled up. I'm surprised we haven't seen range get clicked from either side. We also have the potentiality, right, of these Assault Mode Marksmen going into aerial specialization, which makes them very efficient Overlord killers.
Yeah, they're such high level too, and the Assault Marksman also gives 30% damage, so quite a lot of damage. Chin Gun is doing a lot of work right now.
Absolutely.
Chin Gun is a correct choice because aside from the crawlers, every other units that Coin has are those single model units. There's no sledgehammers, there's no Mustangs, so essentially your Chin Gun is always on target once you clear out those crawlers. This is going to be a huge hit to Coin this round.
Yeah, about a little over 1,000 here. Really trying to even out the game. Odyssey, once again, taking his time to punch back where he can. It's very smart, very heads up. We see some Mustangs here to hopefully help clear out with some chaff. But something that I've seen Coin do, at least to me, he likes to play the sandworm style. And what he did is he just maxed up like 6 sandworms and then mobile beaconed them into me. It was so hard. But, you know, is something to note, right, is that the rounds that Coin was really honestly winning were those early rounds like 1 through 4. And the rounds we were starting to stumble as Coin is like rounds 5 through 7. I think as we're now entering this part of the stage of the game, right, we should see Coin have a bit of a resurgence. I think we've talked about it before, right, but I think Elite Spec is especially strong early in the game, stumbles in the mid game, and then really starts to come back in the later parts of the game, in the late game. So, yeah, we should see hopefully some comeback here.
Couple things I'm super curious. The first thing is that he never sold the sledgehammers. Sledgehammers aren't traditionally good, you know, against the board like this, and they're level 1, so I guess this just permanently chaff and half a chaff there. And then the second thing, no range on the Assault Marksman. I think that might be on purpose at this point, because the marksmen are just getting so big and they're coming into tank to protect, especially protect the level 7 Sabertooth. Well, boats are being added, mostly just to counter Odyssey's boats. Unfortunately, he does have Phoenixes, so that is going to spell a bit of a disaster for Coin.
Yeah, and something to note here is if we look in the middle, right, that blue Overlord killed the other blue Overlord, and the main reason why is because of Launcher Overload. Launcher Overload was clicked, and the idea, right, was to make sure that that the chain gun is always within range, but now Coin's Overlords are outranging, but it may not matter. Oh, that was such a tight timing. Oh, but yeah, I was going to say that Coin's Overlords now outranges Odyssey, and this might be a slight misstep from Odyssey's point. Oh, Fortified Overlord.
It's a Fortified Overlord for Odyssey.
Yeah.
Because right now his Odyssey are basically ramming other ships with just how much range is that. So last game, the reason Coin got the other side is that his chaff clear and chaff, just this combination with high level crawlers, just continues to be a menace that Odyssey couldn't resolve, even with oil on the ground. I think the arc lights, sure, wouldn't mind seeing a few raids, just kind of line some, or also wouldn't mind seeing Stonecallers with HE.
Yeah. I think Stormcallers with HE is a very sick call out. But here's what I was talking about, right? You click shooting squad, sorry. Shooting squad. And then we drop a Fang and we click Shields, and suddenly we now have Chaff to tank for our Assault Mode Marksman. We have some really cool tech going on here. And Coin, since his blood in the water, right, he is going to push with Rapid Resupply, Enhanced Range, and Speed. So we have Speed Specialist and Temporary Speed. These marksmen have 17 meters per second of movement. They are moving faster than a base crawler. That's some spooky stuff, man.
All right, we got fire crawlers coming down. There's going to be a pool of fire right there in the middle. We have double unit drop on the far left here with a Vulcan drop, as well as Wasp trying to take the cheeky tower.
I like
look
this.
on the left side, like this is, oh, the marksmen are falling to Chin Gun. That's too bad. The storm crawlers are putting a lot of work here. It's kind of killing, at least for this round, this little bit, it's kind of killing Odyssey's crawlers a little too hard, but it allows these ranged, not ranged, launcher overlords to get in close and do the damage. But it didn't quite matter though.
Oh, Odyssey has 44 HP. You have to feel for Coin here. You have to feel for Coin here. I've been in this spot so many times, and the real hope, right, is that we can close the game out. But Electromagnetic Blast for Odyssey is actually a trap, because Coin can easily just click the Electromag button. And I hope Coin has the heads up play for this, right? The idea being that we turn off basically everything, including the Assault Mode Marksman. But if photon emotion is photon emission is clicked, that just doesn't work out for us. But we go for Mothership. Interesting.
Okay, we got photon clicked by Odyssey, anticipating the EM, but is that going to be triple tech? I mean, ooh, it's not going to be. There's not going to be photon here at the bottom, which means this entire cluster not only going to be techless, but also very slow. And for a board that's primarily crawlers as chaff, that's going to be pretty disastrous.
Yeah. Oh. But he does shield up though, so we will protect that, right?
Ooh, the crawlers are getting in a little bit. Okay, that means the tower is exposed on the right. They're gonna get tower. Ooh, and that's a very bad tower.
Oh, this looks overwhelming for Coin.
Yeah. And you are right about the launcher overload being a bit of a nerf, I guess, for these boats.
Mm-hmm.
This boat never really had a chance.
Yeah, and well played to Coin. Some really solid high tempo stuff there. You know, like I mentioned, he likes to hit you with the right hook and then hit you with the left hook and keep you guessing. And I felt like Odyssey had to keep guessing this game.
Yeah. I think in the end, though, he just wasn't prepared for this such a strong and committed switch to the Overlords.
Mm-hmm.
The Phoenixes, I think he tried everything he can, but with Overlords, you know, Mothership is not going to be too far behind, especially for Odyssey that's already fully chaffed up and just looking for a bit of more screen. So yeah, it's a good game.
I agree.
All right, thank you for this one. Let's go see another one.
Okay.
So I have still saying Stan got his second game. Nice, congrats. And who's righteousness?
I ran into him on ladder not too long ago. I think I got him, but I don't know. I don't know who that is.
Nice. Little rising star right here.
Okay, we got Steel Saint versus Coin. Ooh, Stan versus Righteousness.
I'm curious about that one. I'm more curious about righteousness because I don't think I've ever played him, and being the underdog, I was love to watch that game.
Sure, you want to check that one out?
Sure.
Let's do it. Okay.
All right. Here we are. Hey, Stoney here. I'm here with Clintleetwood, and this is Mechabellum tournament. At the bottom here, we have Stoney as a quick supply specialist with tarantulas, and he's up against Righteousness, a new name in the tournament, playing as a aerial spec with tarantula's natural predator, Stonecallers. So how do you feel about this game, Clint?
Yeah, I think realistically, right, the quad spider with Fang is one of the strongest openers in the game currently. But we do have to be very careful here, right? They don't move very fast, and like you mentioned earlier, they are a natural victim or prey to the Stormcallers, right? But something that I do like seeing, I do like seeing from Sten here, right, is typically what you might see is like this idea of like a standard spider, or at least that's how I play it. But Sten is going to try to close the distance as quickly as possible by playing them on the line. How do you feel about that? Some aggro spider action.
I love it and hate it at the same time, because at some point you know these spiders are going to pop little spiders and they're going to run and scream, right? and that's the turn that I die a little inside every single time, because I'm always not prepared. I always underestimate that single tech, focus too much effort on actually dealing single target damage on the spider and neglecting a chaff there.
But it looks like Righteousness has a good read on the situation. I think Phoenixes are very strong into spiders, and being aerial spec, you get to cheat out a little Phoenix round one, and you miss a deployment. But in this case, it doesn't seem to really matter. Winning this early round and affording yourself a little extra tempo to react to the push is, I think, a huge boon to Righteousness' game. It's like we're developing into some marksmen. How do you feel about that?
I mean, there are an answer for the Phoenix. Right now, he has no answer, so that is the answer. I was also kind of expecting Righteousness to get Spider-Man this turn. Because he does have 4 Tarantulas, so with not a lot of units currently on the field. So like Stan should get a Spider-Man. Okay, so right now I think it seems like it's developing fairly normally for Stan. And for Righteousness, I don't know if he can defend that. There's nothing there. And
there may be a world, right, where those crawlers pull the wasps, but I think the wasps are too far out to get pulled like that aggro-wise. I think what we're...
So that's a free tower.
Yeah, that's a free tower. Your point about spider mines here, though, I think we should probably see that developed next round. Round 3 is usually when I try to click that button. But here we go, right? This is going to be an overwhelming victory for Sten. This is a lot of damage. This is over 800 damage this round. And it's a round 2. That's brutal.
Yeah, spiders, I mean, you kind of treat them as mini giants. And speaking of giants, we got a couple nice cards. I think the Mustang, the Scorpion, they're great for Sten, just to supplement this army a little bit. Warchers kind of falls into the same category, but I just feel like the others might be slightly more flexible. And then for Righteousness, we also got a Fortress, which makes a lot more sense, I think, than Sten. Because right now, Sten's already got a lot of muscle on the front line. What he really needs is either something fast or something that hits really hard, and that's really what the Scorpion and the Mustangs are.
Exactly. I think Fortress is like a very solid pickup from both players. One, I think Fort AA is still like a very good tech in general, right? And if our opponent is aerial specialist, they could very easily pivot into like a Wasp or Overlord thing. And just having that unlock already done and having one fort on the board makes the idea of those quick pivots less possible, right? But I also think in general, right, Fortress is a solid pickup for Righteousness, because outside of Stormcallers being a natural predator of the spiders, so are Fortresses. Fortresses with launcher overload and range can really clean house. But interesting text from Righteousness on his Fortress loadout, if you're taking a peek at this, is range, launcher overload, double shot. Not something you normally see.
You must be reading the general chat in Discord today, where that topic was brought up.
Oh.
Yeah, there was a funny comment. There's I think it was from I Like Napping.
Oh, sure.
He said he saw a guy at Tourney where he had Fortress with only AA as available tech and nothing else. Which it got a chuckle out of me. I was like, yeah, it's a pretty strong tech. But I was saying, there was a discussion and we're talking about sort of a hard carry Fortress, and these are the 3 techs you need for hard carry Fortress.
Interesting.
You skip Elite Marksman because that never really works out and it's such an expensive tech. But these 3, it turns your Fortresses. I think with these 3 you can comfortably contest a I wouldn't say a full war factory, maybe like a 70% of a war factory.
Oh, I believe that, right? Especially with some amount of levels. Yeah, double shot is an incredible amount of DPS, especially with launcher overload. I remember back in the day, and I'm going to sound like an old man saying this, but I remember back in the day when Sabretooths were first brought into the game, they had launcher overload and range. Or, sorry, no, they had double shot and launcher overload. And I would click range, launcher overload, and double shot, and absolutely kill everything on the board. It was so fun, but long gone is that gameplay loop. So, a couple things that I wanted to point out in this round, though. Senior Manufacturing Specialist picked up for Righteousness, and the card that shall not be named picked up by Sten, an extended range Vulcan. How do you feel about this card? There is a lot of talk in the community about it.
I mean, this is definitely a question I'm going to ask Bear like when I speak with him on the next interview. Right now, I feel like there's no answer. I feel like, and it's not just me. I've played many players, a lot of great players, yourself included. Like when your opponent picks that card, it's very difficult to answer, even if you see it coming from a mile away.
Yeah. And Sten doing the very typical stuff, I think, with ER Vulcan here, right? And that is after slamming down two of them, you click Scorch, which I think is a tech that is also a bit pushed at the moment, right? It's a 125% damage increase, so. And with no downside. So suddenly, right, outside of Vulcans being an anti-chaff bot, they are now an anti-giant bot, an anti-super heavy bot, an anti-medium bot. Like, it's a very tough spot, especially when paired with ER Vulcan. It's a pretty brutal gameplay loop, I feel like, and I think the window to close this game for Righteousness is going to shrink very, very rapidly. Luckily, he does have a bit of a tower cheese here in the back with his own Vulcan Assault, but it really comes down to how much damage he can put on Sten to try to close this game out.
I think it's going to be a pretty good tower. As you can see, the fortresses are just turning onto this large unit, so with the 50% armor debuff, they're able to bring down pretty much all the things here. And this is going to be a huge round for Righteousness. That's 20,000. No, more than that. It's 5 giants.
Yeah.
Oh, is he? No, he's not winning this yet. But that's a lot of damage.
Yeah. Luckily, the Vulcan was a summon, so it only does half damage. But laser sights. Oh man.
Gotta be range. Yep, exactly. And then 2 more. Take the loan. Get another one.
I think we're probably at the point where we might be selling it as spiders too. Personally, where my head kind of goes. But I mean, like realistically, right? If like an amp core and improved firepower control system shows up, it gets real difficult for this for our fortress player to hold the ground. But we are ahead in fortresses.
We are carrying fortresses. Is this the answer to ER Vulcan? Just like a hard carry fortress? Righteousness could be onto something here.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
I mean,
double shot is an interesting pickup here, though. I do like it. I think we just might be a little too far behind in the Vulcan War, right? Also, I don't know if ER Vulcan is really like an aggressive play. I think I always want my opponent to be walking at me, so we might be running into some issues with that too. I'll have to see though. A lot of missiles coming out.
With ER Vulcan, it's very difficult with their chaff game as well, because they just kill everything on the ground.
So fast.
And it makes it very predictable, because then you know, oh, you're going to put down some walls. Well, here I am with A Mustangs.
Yep.
or just get more fortresses with the A barrage.
Oh,
It's a very
this
predictable game after that.
looks
But no,
very
this is,
good.
It looks excellent. He's gonna get this round. Yeah, he might be onto something here. Double shot fortress can contest ER Vulcan at the same level.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think there's enough stuff for Sten to properly clear here. Yeah, and this level 2 fort lives.
Yeah, and that's game. That's a very quick game.
Yeah,
Round
round 6.
This one goes a lot longer. But yeah, double shot fortress. Now we know. And Sparty can leave his comment on why that double shot fortress are awesome.
All right, well, GG to Righteousness.
Yeah,
Nice try
yeah.
from Sten.
Yeah, awesome. Click the button. Wow. So that was a bit of upset, I guess. But no, that was good.
Looks like Steel Sane and Coin are still playing if you want to tune into that real quick. Talk about it.
I'm already jumping in.
Beautiful.
Ooh, they're having a long game. They both have like 25,100 HP or something on round 7.
Apucci says, I run that Fort Tech list and people always ask if I'm trolling or something. It's wild that people are asking that of Apucci.
I mean, forts without AA.
Yeah.
Or shield. Right.
I think it's in this interesting spot where, like, forts have maybe too many good techs. Right?
Yeah, it's a very malleable unit, which is great.
Mm-hmm. Sort of a one-size-fits-all. But yeah, interesting that we didn't see AA on the fort. I might have to play around with that, but I don't know, man. I love just anytime somebody's clicking Phoenixes, I just like click AA and laugh. Hey, Coin's doing the mobile beacon multiple worm stuff that he did against me. Does Steel Saint have enough to hold this off? I don't think so.
Depends on the worm on the right. You can get tower.
Oh!
Oh, tower! One of the worm died. But he should still get it. Yeah. This shouldn't be enough upshoot. I think there's one level 3 marksman.
Yeah.
Maybe? Maybe, yeah. The sledges won't die.
Or will they?
It's a raid.
Oh! What a tight game. I'm gonna run to the restroom real quick and let you take over the cast for a little bit. No pressure.
Alright. Level 7 Sabertooth is always interesting. With so many sandworms, I think that's interesting. But also level 3 Overlord, put Chingung on it, and deal just as much damage. If I were still saying, I'll probably go with the Overlord. Yeah. Wasp here is a bit risky because there's already ranged raid on the board. So if you're going raid Wasp, that's kind of running into it. Emra! I am not playing. Stoney here. Clint is in the big boys room. Hey, Amrock. How are you doing tonight?
Oh, we got an Amarok raid with
Yeah, we got a
58
raid
viewers.
going on here.
Hello,
It's
everybody. How's everybody doing? Oh man, this looks overwhelming for Coin. This tower's about to go down. It does go down. These wraiths, too much trouble.
Yeah, still got 2 worms going at it. No, 3. Just the 2.
But an interesting, like, reverse tower timing from Steel State. He's cheesing him right back.
Wow, these 2 neck on neck.
This wraith will go down. Not before it stems a ton of bleeding. Six and 1 and 2s? Jesus. Ooh. I do love the steel ball production line. I think it makes these worms very deadly. Oh, was that a summon? It was. That was a mobilized battleship. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I mean, these like missiles, a couple missiles in the back, and coin safe. 8 gun in range on these wraiths. Oh, that's so sick. Level 6 wraith? That's terrifying. Another elite spec game from Coin. He really likes this.
I think Elite plays nice into aggro. You get a powerful units fast. So.
Heads up play from Steel saying to use the mobile beacon on the right. The intention here being, right, if we have crawlers matching our crawlers, once that missile kills our crawlers, those crawlers will walk forward, and those wasps would then leash on to those crawlers and follow them into the battlefield and probably die. But by mobile beaconing them, we are forcing them to move along a certain vector. So, pretty smart stuff.
And also, just a comment on this, triple missiles on each side. That's like 300 worth of resources, but this is the kind of result you get.
I think Coin has this. This looks so good for him.
No tower though.
Maybe
so
not.
Cut him out. Yeah, last round looked very similar. He was able to get through the middle, and then no, maybe. Ooh, this is so hard to tell. I think that level 6 wraith, there's no answer for that aside from melting point.
Yep.
So that's just gonna kill everything.
Level 7 now.
Yeah.
Level 7 with nano.
Point. I didn't even think a level 1 melting point out DPS this.
No, you would need to turn it off. You would need to turn it off with some amount of EMP and then. Okay, I mean.
You can't turn it off because it's a freaking nano.
Oh no! Oh sure. I mean, you want to turn off like the DPS that it does, right? Yeah, but you know, nano's a good call out, right? I just mean like, we can slow it down, remove the DPS from it, let it walk into all of our stuff, and let the melter sit back behind the tower and range it out comfortably. But yeah, no, like you know, AMP does not turn off items. That's an important distinction to make here. So, you know, a level 7 Wraith with essentially field maintenance, 8 gun, and range is pretty hard to deal with.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's nothing. Right now, there's nothing that can actually kill it right now. We have, what is this? Oh, we got a level 6 marksman. So I guess the key right now is just for Coin to figure out a way to deal with this level 6 marksman, level 6 scorpion with laser, this whole left cluster, so that his big Wraith is going to win everything else.
I think what's super smart from Steel saying here is that he's going to force these worms to sit on this acid for as long as possible. And that acid with the double shot Scorps really, really paid off in dividends last round, I think. So we'll see if Steel Saint can stabilize here. Interesting little flank. He sells out of the wasps and goes for a level 1 wraith on the flank. It will get missiled. It will be slow, but it will eventually kill that tower.
We've got a flanking raid coming in. How many missiles does he have in the middle? 2 more missiles, not enough to get the raid. Alright, but the steel balls are moving in though. We're already gonna have a backup steel ball and a sandworm potentially.
Oh, here comes the tower. Oh,
just in time. And now he gets the sandworm, and we're still getting tower on the bottom as well. This is such a close game.
This looks so good for Steel Sane though.
Ooh.
Not quite GG.
Not quite GG.
Acid is gone. Round 11. What a banger.
Now we're gonna have
Overlords. Oh, we can click Photon Emission. We can protect our worms against acid. We go for Mothership and Photon Emission. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I think Mothership, Photon Emission, maybe even Chin Gun. I mean, it's all ground-based units here.
Yeah.
And I don't think he has that much of a chat problem. He's got tons of crawlers in waves. So if the boats, it's going to be Mothership in anticipation for that outing point. And also just drawing some attention away from these marksmen.
Mm-hmm. Does Photon protect from sand? It does not. But another important thing, right, is Steel Sane did click EMP on his marksman. This Photon's going to pay off in so much, I think. Coin very heads up, clearing the way for his worm, so we don't have that weird, stutter step that they were doing. But Acid is gone, so I think this might be Coin's attempt to maybe get the game back. Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if ranged or if shielded fangs are really gonna do it here, though. Everybody is photoned. Can we punch through? It's not looking good.
But one of the raids, a level big raid, is on tower. Or at least one of the cannons is on tower. Ooh, got distracted by the sledgehammers. Oh, it is not looking good. The high level marksman on the other side is just doing too much damage.
Almost brute forces his way through, yeah.
Yeah.
Really punching up though. Hell of a game. Cool stuff.
Yeah, really good.
Coiny,
Alright, so that was the last game for this round. Let's see the rankings again.
Coiny said he wasn't supposed to click Mothership there. Looks like our final round will be Steel Sane versus Righteousness.
Good stuff. Interesting to see. Alright, we'll step out for a quick second.
Do it up. Alright, final game, Steel Sane versus Righteousness.
Alright, Let's jump right in. Oh no. My game crashed.
No, no.
It's okay.
The stream has ended. Ah!
No.
You still got a minute. I'm gonna run a quick ad.
Alright, here I am. Is my stream on? Here it is.
Beautiful.
Alright. Hey, Stoney here. I'm here with Clintleetwood, and this is Mechabellum Tournament. And this is the final game of the mini tournament Americas. At the bottom here, we have Steel Saying playing as a marksman specialist up against Righteousness playing as a quick supply specialist. And Righteousness is starting with quick supply, and Sledgehammer Marksman is going to go with a. And now, Clint.
I'm back. Sorry about that. I had a weird drop. Apologies. Yeah, what I was going to say is I really like this idea of potentially opening up with the double sledge. But also, I feel like Marksman Spec is probably one of the better drafts at the moment, right? It just covers so many different avenues of potentially dealing with like spiders, potentially dealing with like big unit drops round 2, right? In like the Scorpion. So I'm curious to see how Righteousness is going to play around this. I think Righteousness in general is going to have a tough time winning these first couple rounds, but could probably use this 200, right? And, you know, if we see like an early round 2 or round 3 unit drop to maybe catapult himself a bit ahead of Steel Sane's Marksman Spec and maybe afford some tempo for himself.
I think for round 2, after seeing where the unit positions are, it's very likely he'll just go ahead and pick 2 stone collars, put it beside the tanks. But yes, I agree with you. Round 1, this is not looking too good. Especially these late fans. Righteousness just doesn't have an answer for.
Yeah, something I really like from Righteousness here is this utilization of vertical sledges. I feel like this is something that I see a lot of people not really understand when to use properly. And the idea, right, is that if we don't have chaff clear round 1, we need to have some amount of chaff clear. And if our best chaff clear, right, is sledgehammers, they do better chaff clearing in a vertical position as opposed to a horizontal position. So
now, why is that then?
Yeah, so that's a great question, right? If you are very carefully paying attention, a horizontal sledge, if it's like a crawler is running at it, will have multiple sledgehammers target the same crawler. And while there is some amount of splash damage on a sledgehammer, it's not enough to do more or kill more than 1 or 2 crawlers besides that original crawler, right? But the beautiful part about vertical sledgehammers is that If a crawler is running at it, the first sledgehammer will get in range, stop, shoot. The second sledgehammer will get in range, stop, shoot, and it will all be different and independent targets as opposed to all focusing on one of them. So now we have this idea of like good shaft clear. We can now develop into storm callers, right, with righteousness and both players going for it. I really like what righteousness is doing. He still has 350 banked. He can has a deployment to go with here. Yeah, I think what we'll see here, right, is maybe even I think the mass recruit's a brilliant idea to hopefully start to scale up the comp and get ourselves in a good spot.
If you look at the sport right now, they're exactly the same.
Pretty much.
With one difference is just the extra set of crawlers versus fans, but it's the same number of sledgehammers, same number of storms, same number of marks.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have games like these, whoever levels first will have a huge advantage.
Yeah, I think realistically, right, the mass recruit here is pretty big. It allows at least righteousness to get a little bit of a leg up, or to maybe even start to allow his comp to scale a little faster. I don't think Steel Sane was able to do the same mass recruit, and that's because of the 200 that he banked round 1. And here we go, right? This could be just a straight up tie, and it is. No units are remaining. Very cool. Very rare to see that. But I mean, I think this kind of comes and circles back to this idea of what you're talking about, right? We basically have mirrored boards. So it's very interesting to see that, you know, a tie, which is rare, occur in such a mirrored position.
Absolutely. Well, we got level 2 Stonecaller again, getting another level. I don't think you'll level that. Right now, they're already pretty much kill everything in one body. Crawler comes down, just adding to the symmetry here. But I think this crawler has a bigger purpose from righteousness than Steel Sane's counterpart. I think this crawler is going to run back and forth and just be a clown for my entertainment.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it's a mobile beacon play for sure. I think something that is a little misunderstood here, at least in my mind, is that the positioning of these Stormcallers from both Steel Sane and Righteousness are hard to exploit. They don't really pull the same way that they would, say, the Stormcallers were in between both towers. But if you look here, that mobile beacon is very interesting, because what will happen here, right, is that these four or five crawlers that are not in the mobile beacon get pulled forward, actually do leash onto the other Stormcallers, and as these are running in, they'll start to pull the other Stormcallers. So there is some exploitation here going on, but not anything I think that is like super impactful or effective. It's just buying a little bit of time.
I think both players are just playing very conservatively. And they're kind of just testing the water. They're waiting to see like what's the next unit drop is going to be, what giant I'm going to go for first. Because right now either of them can start exploiting the flanks. Right now there's nothing really protecting the flanks. Maybe with a Phoenix, I don't think the marksmen are actually far enough to get to the flank with everything, more forward. Or you can go with or just a set of crawlers, right?
Both players picking up tech spec, though. Interesting.
Tech spec, yeah. I was actually going for mass-produced forts. I thought that would be an interesting card here. You're gonna have a line of force. If he runs punch, could do a lot of damage.
I agree.
Speaking of punch, I haven't seen a lot of the punch forts these days. It used to be all the rage. Have you seen any?
No, I think I saw it a tournament a while ago. I think the problem, right, is that there's this issue. I've heard a few people say it, at least this, right, that there is this issue with punch not doing proper targeting. So that might be part of the reason why it's seen some lack of play recently. But yeah, I was going to ask, how do you value tech specialists in general here?
If you just simple math, right?
Sure.
Tech spec is 150,
Mhm.
and it saves you 50 per tech, so you got to do it 3 times to break even. Which means realistically, you need to get 4 techs to at least get a 50 supply worth of benefit.
Sure.
And if you couldn't get to the fourth, well, then you're essentially wasting 150 in that round. You could have bought another chap or do some upgrade. So you really have to commit into this.
Mhm.
Most of the time, I think easy calculation to figure out whether a tech spec is worth it is to count how many types of carry units that you have.
Interesting.
The reason I say count how many carry units you have is that usually your carry units will get range at some point.
Yeah, you
Right.
need it. It's one of the most important techs, if not the most important tech on almost every unit, right?
That's right. So let's say in this case, we have 3 units. We got marksman. The storms probably don't need range, so marksman, sledgehammers, that's 2 techs down, right? And then it makes your decision a lot easier if you only have to decide which other 2 techs instead of 4 am I going to use. So that's how I do it. I see a tech spec card, I'll count my carries. If I have just a single type, then I don't take it. If I have 2, usually I just take it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think for me, right, when I see tech spec, and I've already tech like Righteousness has, it loses a lot of value for me. But something that was smart from Steel Saint is that he saw tech spec and immediately clicks range on his sledgehammers, which I think is super heads up. I think that starts to get that train rolling, get that payoff happening, and we see an immediate benefit already from tech spec. Range click from both sides.
That's right. Now the techs are rolling in.
4 scorpions coming down though.
Yeah, they're gonna be a little bit of a problem. It's right out in Steel Saint's side. His entire chaff line is consists of mid-sized units, which are very vulnerable to these scorpions.
Yeah, absolutely right. And then we have essentially kind of, and I think we've talked about this in the past, this sort of like keep away comp or come and get me comp, right? We have scorpions sitting at the tower with range, we have marksmen sitting behind the tower at range, and then we have stormcallers right in front of the tower with the longest range, base range that is, in the game. So Steel Saint's going to have to cross quite a bit of distance just to even, give him a little love tap. So it's gonna be tough.
Give him the beans.
Yeah, give him the bean. But I think something that was pretty heads up here from Steel Saint this round, right, is he took Fire Badgers in an attempt to secure the flanks, and I think that's really smart, right? Oof. Scorpion's already putting in work.
Yeah, now they're suffering. And we still have late arriving fangs, which is really good. And this is the perfect time to start putting down Scorpion, because once the tanks can out-level Scorpions by 2 levels, your Scorpion would never be able to catch the tanks.
Yeah. Something I anticipate seeing from Righteousness here in the next couple rounds is probably fire from his Stormcallers. What we'll probably end up seeing, right, is that these late arrival fangs that were a bit problematic for the Scorpions to chew through can be somewhat answered, right, by just some fire being on the ground. Round of drafts here. We have Electromagnetic Blast coming out from both players. I don't think there's really a way for Righteousness to play around this unless he wants to spend a lot of bubbles, but I don't know. I think Righteousness is in a current spot, right, where he's just lost so much HP that he can't really afford to not play around it. How would you approach this round if you're Righteousness?
I think the EM hurt Steel saying a lot more than it does with Righteousness. Yes, you'll lose. What? How much you see in 30 seconds? 25 seconds. So you'll lose that initial engagement. Like the Stonecallers has no tech. The only tech that you really have are the Scorpions. But in the first 25 seconds, I don't think the chaff is even clear, which means the Scorpions aren't really contributing much. And by the time EM is done, the Scorpion can then retarget the sledgehammers at full range. So I don't know. I don't think it's that good, or as good as you think. And the same goes with the marksman, right? First 25 seconds, you're shooting nothing but crawlers, which you don't really care if you have range or not. And after that, you'll be fine. But we're still saying it's a lot different. It's potentially, he didn't do it this round with the sledgehammers. He potentially could take Mech Rage, and that almost doubles the damage output for sledgehammers. And that first 25 seconds is crucial for chaff clear.
Yeah, and I think the other thing that we're probably seeing, at least from Steel Sane's side, is that unfortunately, it looks like Righteousness has like a bit of a chaff issue in both being able to clear chaff efficiently and keep chaff in front of his Scorpions, because it's what's happening here if you're peeking it is these marksmen who now have range and elite marks are basically like 2 or 3 shotting the Scorpion. So it's becoming quite difficult to keep these units safe. Something that I would really like to see from Righteousness here is probably Shielded Fangs, but it's a bit of a trap now because Steel Sane has clicked fire on his Stormcallers as well.
Yeah, so now with the fire on the ground, I think whoever has more fangs should do better. That's Righteousness. Ooh, here's the oil.
Yeah. If you're Righteousness here, do you feel comfortable not loaning, or do you take the loan? I think you have to, right?
I think you have to. I mean, there's already so many units on the board, and fire is coming any second.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah, I would definitely take the loan. One thing to note is that last game, the reason that the Scorpions wasn't able to latch onto these sledgehammers is because these marksmen were just doing too much damage.
Absolutely.
So one way to kind of play around this, if you notice that your opponent's carry is destroying my carry before they can do their work, have specialized chaff for them, right? Put some wasp down here to distract these marksmen.
Yeah, and it looks like Righteousness is running out of time to make a decision, but Steel Sane, super heads up. He has AMS sentries, or anti-missile sentries down. That Righteousness doesn't, unfortunately, loan. A couple of shields would be a huge boon here, but, this fire is going to be the game winner here. I think Steel Sane very comfortably closes this game out. Yeah, this is looking real bad.
Without chaff, this level 3 marksman logs onto a Scorpion, and just look at that.
Eviscerates it.
Quarter. Yeah.
Yeah, the level 3 marksman on the left side just 2-shot a level 1 Scorpion. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very convincing game here from Steel Sane.
Yeah. Alright. Well played to Steel Sane. Oil fire taking the day.
Absolutely. Well, congrats, Steel Sane. He is the new Midweek Tourney Americas champion. All right, let's see who else has got it going. Nah, that's it.
Was it?
Finished. Yeah, that's it. Last game. Sweet.
Well, that was fun. Do you want to do? We can go check out the intermediate group. Oh no, it's about over. Yeah, let's do some twos. Let's do some twos.
Oh, twos.